Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Band in the late 60s, those guys got inducted into the Rock Hall a few years back. And he played with them at Woodstock. And he did a ton of studio work, so he was on like Eric Clapton albums, and he worked with Bowie and Springsteen and the Stones. Anytime somebody wanted to bring in like a guy, saxophonist at the very, very top of his game, they would get David Sanborn. And I don't know how old he was. He was in with, back in the old days of David Letterman's show on NBC, they would have David Sanborn in a lot. He was always sitting in with that band. And he had a ton of Grammys, and, he's 78 years old. I hadn't even seen that. Somebody texted me in the break. Said, David Sanborn died too. That's a real bummer. Met him one time. He was very, very nice. Could have been nicer. Okay, let me get you another clue here. I got Game 4 playoff tickets for tonight. That's happening over at the Romo Fijo. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Cavaliers are in. I heard a little promo we played. Playoff mode unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are calling it. And I got Rob on the east side with tickets, and then when those are gone, I'm going to send him to the west side. We got a lot of tickets. And the first clue that I gave you a half an hour ago was Frozen. And Mary made some Annandale, New York comment.
Annandale.
Was it?
Arndale.
Took the Wolverine back to Annandale?
Nothing matters. Annandale.
Your second clue is Puck. Those are your first two clues. Frozen and Puck. And that's not a Shakespeare reference. So, good luck. And I will have another clue for you for your East Side tickets in about a half an hour. Now, here is the hidden joy of when I send people out to get tickets, because I don't want to make it super, super hard. People have lives to lead, and I'm not trying to make it so that they're driving around for hours trying to find this out. But the little hidden plus in this whole thing is when people will walk into an establishment and ask the person working there if Rob is there. Because Woody hit me up and he goes, I walked into this one place and asked if Rob was there, and they had no idea. That's what I like. That's the little added bonus to this, is wondering if he's there or not seeing him, and talking to people who work if he's at an establishment where people are working. Roger Corman died over the weekend too, yes, that's true. So they're coming fast and furious. Again, these are all, in my estimation, these are all people you'd have to be at least 50 to know who they were, right? Roger Corman, unless you're a student of horror movies, specifically B-horror movies, but Roger Corman inspired a whole lot of people. Like James Cameron started as Roger Corman's cameraman or something like that. So Roger Corman, David Sanborn, Cyril Wecht, and Sam Rubin. So anyway, Puck and Frozen, those are your first two clues there, and good luck with the rest of it. Did anybody watch the Northern Lights?
No, I was in Pittsburgh.
Oh, you didn't see him in Pittsburgh?
Didn't
Didn't have him there?
Not in New York either.
I was thinking, really?
Really?
They were seeing him, when I was reading these articles before it happened, like Thursday, they were like, people might see him down to Alabama and Florida. I'm like, there's no way in hell. But there were photos.
There were some people,
From
but it was
Alabama.
also
Pictures.
one of those things where you weren't really seeing much with the naked eye. You had to do like a long exposure shoot with
Everybody
your
had their
camera.
phones up. Yeah, because you could kind of look up with your eye and see what was happening. We went to the lake on Friday night, and hundreds and hundreds of people were out there. Yeah. They ended up having, cops directing traffic. And all. I had no idea it was going to be that big of a deal, because I was like, well, we could probably just stand in our backyard and see it. We're not far from the lake. But Gwen was like, no, I want to go down there and look. So we packed the kid in the car, and we went down there a little bit before midnight. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I think I posted maybe one photo, but everybody was posting photos. So it's not like it's this... but it was cool.
That's very cool. I wish I would have been home, because I could have gone up on.
I was thinking you were. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
You've got the perfect vantage point there at Squifle Tower, but you were gone.
Still in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And you didn't see him in New York.
No, they weren't here. Brian's buddy from work was sending him pictures, and he was like, look at this. I come out here to see you, and I miss the Northern Lights. I was like, nice. You're glad your work boyfriend
It was pretty rad, yeah.
keeping you in the loop.
That's usually not something that, I'm not, whatever. I don't get worked up about stuff. But you got to take it for what it's worth. You know, we don't see that stuff down here very often. In years past, Gwen and I have talked about going to Norway. They have these giant glass igloos in the middle of nowhere that you can rent and see the Northern Lights. And save myself a lot of money. Just because of this anomaly, because everybody was freaking out over what's going to happen because of these solar flares. And I don't know that anything really happened. I mean, they want to keep people on alert because those kinds of ejections from the sun, plasma and solar flares, they have the potential to really jam things up. You know, with our satellites, because we have so many of them out there, and what are they going to do? And so, I mean, we talked about it on Friday. But by the time Friday night rolls around, there was an eerie quality to it, you know, and everyone out by where we were at Huntington Beach. And when all of these people are walking down to the beach, it had like a very, I don't know, it had a kind of a creepy quality to it. But it was cool. But yeah, you had to have, when we parked, there was a guy that was already coming back, and he's like, you got to use your phone. Okay. Thank you. That's helpful.
You wouldn't want to go to one of the places like the Norway or any of that? You mentioned they have like cabins, and you wouldn't go do that?
What's happening over here, Bill?
I heard you say that, like, no, we don't have to go do that, but that wouldn't be cool for you to go see?
Well, yeah, but
that's what I'm saying.
I've saved myself a lot of money by not doing it.
He's excited about saving money.
I feel like it would excite you more that you saw it a little bit, and that would make you want to go see the full, real thing.
Yeah, and you can see it with the naked eye, too.
That's
right?
what I mean.
It's right there, yeah.
It's like a teaser.
A teaser. Yeah, no, listen.
Yeah, playing just the tip with the Northern Lights.
Yes. Just the glint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was cool. Yeah. So that's there's some other places we have to get to first, but
nah.
Yeah, that's it was cool. Huh?
Iceland. That's the next place.
Reykjavik.
Show trip.
Hey, they got
Show trip. Iceland.
They got direct flights there.
No.
Direct flights to Reykjavik from Cleveland?
I thought they did. Maybe not.
Dublin now.
Dublin.
Yeah,
okay.
Dublin's the one they keep
I thought
playing
I thought there was an
for.
Iceland one.
There might
for a
be.
while.
Yeah, I think for a minute there was, but then these carriers, plant their
swap
flag
out,
and then they
yeah.
go, oh, we have 6 people a month who want to go to
Right.
Iceland to see like where Björk lives or whatever. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool. The Northern Lights. Yeah, so normally I was surprised at how far south people were posting photos. They saw them in Colorado. They saw them in Georgia. Mary, it's Dustin. I don't know why you're not seeing the Northern Lights. I paid a lot of money for you. Go on that trip.
Oh, yeah, I would go on that trip. For sure. Go stay in one of those igloo
Yeah, the glass
things.
igloos.
Bubbles.
Yeah. Yep. They saw them in Maine, obviously. That's farther north. But they saw them in Seattle. That's north, too. But, yeah, people were seeing them as far south as Georgia, which I absolutely did not think that was actually going to happen. But and the trouble is, too, obviously, we live in modern times. So there's a lot of light pollution.
Right.
And so, people are posting photos from, like a friend of mine posted a photo from home. They were seeing them in Chicago. But I was like, oh, yeah, but
It's not going to be as clear.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
we were out there on on the beach when it was super dark and crescent moon and the whole bit. So it was cool. I mean, it was, but then it was like when fireworks let out, everybody splits at one
Yeah.
time and
You're just
western part of the country. Last time they were, I think, burning north of Toronto, or they're out there in Ontario, and now they're burning primarily in British Columbia. So the air is going to get smoky down here again. Minnesota and Wisconsin are already getting some of that air, and it'll be heading this way. But they've already got the air quality alerts going off for all of Minnesota and parts of Wisconsin. But there are multiple fires burning in Western Canada, in British Columbia. They've had to evacuate a couple of towns. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. It might be not really what you wanted, but it's a way to remind yourself of the complexities of nature and how dry things can get, really. When you think about it, because on the one hand, you'll have the northern lights. On the other hand, had we gotten these later, we wouldn't have seen them because they would have been obscured by wildfire smoke. And frankly, I don't mind that little burn in the air. You know, when you smell it, it smells like a neighbor is having a bonfire, and you go, it smells pretty good. It's reminiscent of camping and s'mores, and you got to put a good face on climate change and the inevitability of our demise. What's the matter with that? Mexico City. You ever been to Mexico City?
No.
A lot of people in Mexico City. It is the largest city in North America, Mexico City, and it's running out of water. And so that's what we have to look forward to. Who knows if the wildfire smoke will get there? But there are 22 million people who live in Mexico City, and the water supplies are running out because it's just not raining. And so if it doesn't rain soon, or to a degree to which they really need it, the city will run out of water by the end of June.
That's really soon.
So if you've got plans...
Water wars are starting!
If you've got plans to visit, maybe kick that can down the road a little bit.
I mean, that's not really a destination for a lot. Like, that's not where resorts are.
A beautiful city, though. You don't think they have resorts in Mexico City?
I don't think so.
not-
It's
I
a
mean,
full... I mean,
people-
you're not on the ocean,
That's
but
what
I
I'm
mean...
That's why
saying.
people are going to Mexico,
Yeah.
is to be on the beach.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's not the ocean, but at least there's a lot of pollution and no water.
That's right.
This will be fun.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dick.
Hey, Alan, how
Speaking
are
of
you?
air pollution.
It's not a good sight here, Alan.
Oh, what's happening, Dick?
We had a flood. And
Who's
it came
we?
all the way, the house down here. There were tornadoes about 20 miles from the house, and it ran all the water and knocked all the clothes off. You know, I only got 23 shirts and pants.
It knocked
It's
all of your
bad.
clothes off. What?
Well, I mean, they
The
just-
tornado
it went
whipped your
up
clothes
there.
off?
No, I mean the clothes. They mildewed the clothes on the hangers, which was bad.
Oh,
you
a
know,
clothesline,
they
you
got-
mean?
No, inside the house, water got in the toilets, and it overflowed, and it got on the, around the stuff that was hanging on the shirt.
oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Wait, so...
So how are you? Otherwise, I'm doing
Wait,
good
wait,
at
Dick.
music.
Dick.
He
Hold
explained
on,
it
hold on.
perfectly clear, Alan.
Hold
Don't
on.
worry about it.
Tornado!
Dick.
Tornado!
So you said there have been tornadoes. So your house flooded?
Yeah, the bathroom's flooded. It was
Bathroom
bad.
is
The
flooded.
bathroom's
How did that...
Yeah,
how did the flooding bathroom touch your clothes on hangers?
I don't know. That's what I don't understand. We had Michelle had to take them to the dry cleaners, and they went through that stuff again. It makes me so mad. I told them to quit messing with the pretty shirts I get from the radio stations, and it's happened twice. You know what I mean?
Those are T-shirts, yes?
Yeah. Could you send me another one? Is it okay? I mean, I'll pay you the money. I'll send you $30 for them.
Dick's working the flood scam here, Bill, to get some new WMMS T-shirts. Yes. What are you, a medium?
Extra large.
All right, extra large, yes. I'll.
Hey, Alan.
Dick.
Alan.
Yes, sir.
I want to say something, okay? I talked to Connor, you know what I mean, and I like Connor. But I want to say something. And I want to say it to Bill, and I want to say it to Mary and Keith Kennedy. I've known you guys. Bill and Mary came down here, Alan. I respect you guys. I would never hurt you guys' feeling or make the people mad, but I believe that you are probably the best. I talked to a girl up in she came down here from Norwalk and her family, but I dearly love you guys, and I talk about you guys all the time, and I hope you never. And I want to be Bill's friend, Mary's friend, your friend, Connor's friend, and Keith Kennedy's friend in God. And I mean that, so help me God. I love you guys.
Well, love you too, Dick.
Gay.
All right, that's fine. That's a compelling argument.
But
I'll give you that.
I would want to come up there, and I will party with you guys. I will.
Yeah,
give
come
you
party with us. You do
I
coke?
want to give you 2 CDs, and some. I'm going to try to get some tonight. And
See some
you know,
double Ds.
I dearly talk about you guys, and I want you always to be my friends in God. Does that sound good, please?
I mean, I'm an atheist, but I take your point. Sure, yes. I'm sure we can remain associates, of course. Why not? But you got to come up here and party with us.
I would never hurt, you people up there. And I just, I've got friends down here. I don't get to talk much. I'm doing a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of playing music. But, I'm just so glad Mary got to hear me. But you guys are part of my life, and I love you guys. And go, you know what I mean. And so I appreciate you doing that, Mr. Allen and Bill and everybody and Connor. Okay.
Okay. Well, all right.
Yeah, Mr. Allen, 29.
I hope that the flood situation gets squared
Will
away.
Be a couple days, you think?
Sure.
Yeah, but I want to meet you guys sometime, okay?
We'll figure it out, Dick, okay?
God bless you.
Bless God, you.
All right, well.
You're the only one that believes in God, Mary, so you have to be friends with Dick.
That's fine. Let's take Dick to
Oh, I'm
Iceland
sorry.
with
He's
us.
still on the line.
But I'll come. How about that?
So gross. Let's take him to Iceland with us, and he can serenade us with the mandolin while we watch the Northern Lights. I feel like that's a perfect plan.
I got to take a break. Let's put a